This video features high-end, limited edition collectibles and is intended for adult collectors.
Who goes to bed with bright-ass lips? It's gonna smear on your pillow.
She doesn't look dressed to go to bed.
She's gonna get lipstick on somewhere.
So, this is finally going to be part 2 of our virtual Integrity Toys Obsession Convention haul. We have already posted part 1 of that haul in a prior video, so make sure to check that out if you haven't. It'll be linked in the description below. In part 1, we just went through a haul of all the convention collection dolls as well as the centerpiece dolls, and in this video our haul is going to include all of the Poppy Parker Style Lab dolls as well as the souvenir dolls, or giveaway dolls, meaning essentially the dolls that folks got for no additional purchase with the price of admission to the convention, which you could argue one exception being the W Club event souvenir doll.
Should we just do the souvenir dolls first since they're easier to get to?
Sure.
So one of the perks of signing up for the convention is they do offer you 3 giveaway dolls. The first being the welcome doll, and this year is the very coveted and sought after return of the gift set.
Yes. Yeah. Which, there hasn't been a welcome doll gift set since 2017's Fashion Fairy Tale. So this was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a very nice large box, which, you know, I think if it was an in-person convention, this would have been very talked about.
Yes.
And I think they would have kind of had slightly more different packaging, because what they used to like to do was during in-person convention, they would give you the box, a large box early on, and throughout the event, they would slowly give you pieces of the gift set. But here they just showed off the whole doll, and look at that, she is gorgeous.
Yes, so this is A Doll's Life Vanessa Perrin, and it's Vanessa 3.0.
Yes.
So Mark Tinkley described this doll as kind of falling under the umbrella of new fantasy, which I think in that sense, he didn't take it in a direction of fairy tale magical fantasy, but more so imagination fantasy, because the theme of this doll is essentially a real life person living her life as a doll. And so yeah, because of that, there's a lot of different looks that I think folks would definitely associate with classic, shall we say, nostalgic doll brands. We'll leave it at that. But she is lovely in person. She is one of the ones where I definitely had a bit of a, updated impression of her when I actually saw her up close. I think she's lovely. I am of the opinion that Vanessa as a character has been a little overplayed recently, but this is a really gorgeous version of her, and I think she will definitely make a lot of the folks who jumped ship over from Barbie very happy.
You want to see Barbie?
I know, I broke my own rule.
But no, yeah, I think a lot of people made a comparison from this gift set to the Barbie Styles gift set.
Barbie style, yeah.
Yeah. This blonde girl, all this girl's missing is a little miniature iPhone. But yeah, I think the fact that she comes with 3 complete outfits that are different for different occasions is really, really nice.
Fur coat is gorgeous.
Fur coat is stunning. It feels really nice.
It does. It feels super nice. I personally have not owned an Integrity Toys doll with that type of really soft, like pink faux fur since I think Supernova Colette, which was quite a while ago.
Well, I think particularly with this type of fabric, it's a much smaller fur. It's a more micro
fur. It is. It's
super
soft.
It's definitely more accurate to the scale of like 1/6 scale. I think oftentimes when companies use faux fur on dolls, they use like the human size fur.
Yeah.
So this one's much more lush, almost.
Yeah, definitely. Also, her gown is gorgeous in person. It has a really metallic sheen, and it's gold, but it sort of has like hues of like rose gold, and it's very sparkly and lovely and gorgeous. I think it's I appreciate that quite a bit more in person compared to the promo images.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like is her black outfit. It's just I'm not a huge fan of like the giant wings. I can definitely see a different character wearing it.
So many mix and match options.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would say this is my favorite doll of the convention.
I think that's fair. Her accessories are amazing, and you know, she comes with so much stuff. I think this, like, I would love for Integrity Toys to do more stuff like this in the future, especially with virtual conventions recently and people making complaints of like, well, are we getting as much bang for our buck? Give us stuff like this and I will be much more tempted to say yes, because yeah, the gift sets are awesome. Great way to kick off con. And she just comes with so many different accessories and, you know, shoes. And what's really cool about her purse is it would pair very well with the luggage set. That was offered as like a
upgrade
yeah. Purchase. Yeah.
I mean, it's 3 sets of accessories for each outfit. So each outfit gets a different pair of shoes, different jewelry. So it's actually really luxe and like detailed. And I can understand why. I mean, I can't understand, but I can also kind of. It's less of a financial strain on going to convention when they give you stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, the price of the convention was still really steep. This helped dampen kind of that frustration.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, her iridescent like opal earrings and ring, and what I like about something like this too, it's like if you don't like one outfit or one aspect of it, there's a bunch of other mix and match options. I will say, as a word of caution, when you're unboxing her brooch, which is lovely, it has the huge like stabby pin protruding out of it, so I would just say be careful when you're opening that.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't give you like a magnetic metal piece to attach to it. Vanessa herself is super gorgeous. I think she's very versatile. I think that's what Mark said. He wanted something that you can play with and enjoy redressing, and I think he definitely nailed it. She's gorgeous. She's very Barbie. Yeah, she's by far, in my opinion, the best doll of the convention.
Give me all the new fantasy inspiration, Mark. I will take as many more as you're willing to give.
All right, so let's move on to the next doll, which was the giveaway doll or souvenir doll for the Poppy Parker luncheon. Yeah, so the next doll is the souvenir doll from the Poppy Parker event.
Boudoir Noir Ginger Gilroy. This was just, you know, the con before, well, no, the con live from Fashion Week was PoppyCon. Obsession was almost like GingerCon.
Wow, we got 2 gingers.
We got 2 whole gingers. Yes, and so as we kind of mentioned in our prior video, you know, the theme of a lot of the poppies in this convention was obsession with weddings, and so this ginger represents the honeymoon, kind of. Yeah, like the night of the wedding or the night of the honeymoon.
Yeah. Just a disclaimer, it was a running gag that is wedding themed, but I think Davis said the theme was Poppy was obsessed with French Parisian fashion, and I think the runway fashion for that day was wedding themed.
Yeah, I mean, they had 2 dolls that were, well, I guess you could argue soiree
wasn't
for her, but she looks like a bridesmaid to me. But I guess you could argue she's
perfect Parisian. Yeah.
She's so bland. I guess it could go either way.
Yeah. So it's been quite a while since we received a non-Poppy giveaway doll for the Poppy luncheon, and I think she's gorgeous. I love Ginger. I know some people aren't quite on board with Ginger just yet, but you know, Poppy can't, you know, steer the boat forever. I think having some friends that have some modest popularity would be nice, and I think Ginger has a growing popularity with the club.
Yeah, you know, speaking as someone who is a huge fan of Poppy, I appreciated this, and I wish they'd do it a little bit more often. You know, not, obviously they still gotta give the Poppy fans what they want, but I think we're at a point where we receive so many Poppies throughout the year and throughout convention and throughout the W Club exclusives that I don't personally mind that when they present Poppy as a line, that they make room for some of these other characters occasionally, you know. And I really like Ginger. I think this one in particular is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And, you know, I knew I would love her from the promos, and I was right. She's gorgeous in person.
So I know David mentioned in the W Club interview that he lost, or not he lost, but the company has lost or misplaced or is currently limiting the number of screenings Poppy has. So I think, having more characters would be beneficial to the brand so that, you know, Poppy doesn't become too stale. Because I feel like a lot of people are complaining that Poppy only has like 2 screenings that David uses. This particular Ginger is very gorgeous. I know Lavender Eyes is polarizing for the community because some people don't like fantasy eyes, but I really love her eyes. It's reminiscent of like early Poppies. I think earlier Poppies did have lavender eyes. She's gorgeous. There's not a hint of ginger in her hair, but
Yeah, she's really like blonde, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like a dirty blonde, strawberry blonde, kind of. But
yeah, I guess you can say it is kind of like a dirty blonde. I don't know about the strawberry.
probably
blonde.
not strawberry blonde.
But
Probably
I
more
think,
dirty blonde.
I think maybe it's supposed to be strawberry blonde, but I don't see any red in her hair.
I think that makes her more different though from the existing Gingers.
Yes,
so
for sure. I wish her lips weren't so bright.
I actually love the lipstick. Although we did say before that her lipstick is just always pink. They definitely got to give Ginger some
Who
different
goes to
colors.
bed with bright ass lips? It's gonna smear all
I
over
mean,
her
she doesn't look dressed to go to bed.
She's gonna get lipstick on somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, she's really cute. Her accessories are kind of basic. I wish they put the pantyhose on her because I hate doing these little are they called girdles?
Garter belts.
Garter belts, yeah.
I loved all garter belts so much.
They do, but these are
doing
such
it
a
yourself,
pain.
it's horrible doing it yourself.
Yeah, I wish they just put it on for you.
Yeah.
Her accessories are super simple. Again, she was a Souvenir dolls, and Souvenir dolls don't usually come with much, but she comes with 2 little black gem stud earrings and a small little black stud ring as well. Second pair of hands. I do love the color of the nails. I know it's the same color as the lips, but it works really well on the nails.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And simple shoes.
Yes.
Little simple pumps. So next up we have the Souvenir doll, and technically the convention doll of the whole convention, and this one is Fall 2020 Elise Jolie. This one was designed by Jason Wu, and he did a miniature version of one of his outfits. So unlike other dolls from the convention, this one comes in the Jason Wu box. Which, you know, I wish he just kept the normal box. I understand he wants to keep his own brand, but I think it would make sense if, you know, it just came more cohesive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the box
Agreed.
you have seen before if you collected his stuff.
So much to discuss. We're gonna try to keep it concise.
I mean, your first impressions, you like her.
Yeah, when I saw the promos of her, I mentioned this in our first impressions con coverage video. She seemed nice as far as Elise goes, speaking as someone who's not ordinarily a big fan of her sculpt. I definitely did think that the dress that she's wearing, you know, we've discussed this multiple times, that with certain real life fashion creations, especially the ones with more intricate details, it can be really difficult to kind of scale that down to 1/6 on dolls. And this is definitely one of those cases where the doll version does not have nearly the same effect as the real live dress, which I think is gorgeous. In person, this Elise has a lot of issues.
Okay. Let's talk about her outfit first. Yeah, like I agree with Max. I think Jason Wu's actual fashions are really cute and gorgeous, but in doll form, especially recently in the last few years, I think he chooses outfit that doesn't really work well in 1/6 scale. And I think this is the perfect example of that, because the dress that it's based on looks fabulous, but when you shrink it down, it's just because there's so much amount of detail work that is minimized that it kind of looks unfinished. For me, I don't like how unfinished like the edges look, which I guess is a style, but it just looks weird to me. as well as you can see all the seam work in between there. I think it should have been a bit more ruffled here so you can hide it.
I ended up having a big problem with that in person, and I didn't really see that as much in the promos. The section of the fabric that I was expecting to like most, the ends look frayed and tattered in person, which I don't like, and it doesn't pair well with her other huge issue that you've probably all already seen all over Instagram, is the fact that there seemed to be some kind of really severe issue with Elise's hairstyling. It looks next to nothing like the promos. The promos have very defined gelled, you know, kind of waves and curls into a very short hairstyle. It's a frizzy, fried mess in person, and we genuinely think this isn't even purely like a QC quality control issue. Like, I literally think something went wrong here. Like we've discussed, Sang and I have discussed, like they might have been trying to style one of the curly hair fibers or a specific type of hair fiber when they were supposed to use like a different hair fiber or a straighter hair fiber, and the end result just fried the whole thing.
So finger curls is very common with Enchanted Toys. There's been several Elises and other characters. I think most recently Navia had a finger curl in her hair. They usually tend to use straight hair for most of the hair, and then the finger curl, I don't know if they use a different fiber, but they usually use straight hair, which is a little more sleek. I think for this Elise, they tried using curly hair or a different hair fiber, and I think
to clarify, like it's straight versus it's curly when it's rooted. So like there's hair that when you root it, it's straight versus it starts curly. We've talked about that a bit in Playline videos as well.
Yeah, and I think I understand that it is imitating real life hair, but in doll form, it does come off messy. And I think there was a lot of collectors who had issue with that, and I think IT only mentioned that this is the intended look. And I think that's very misleading when the promo images has very different hair. I can understand if the promo images showed this particular hairstyle as is, then I can understand, yes, you can't really complain that way, but this looks nothing like the promo images. It is a mess, and just Max's here, there's so many stray hairs. So many stray hairs that are just all over the place. And you know, you expect them to be packaged nicely, and whatever you do with it afterwards, it's on you. But yeah, even in box, like, why? The hairnet did not do its job. It kind of created a bigger mess.
You know, I've seen some people on Instagram too, like try to restyle it and fix it, and it just seems like a struggle. Like, and again, like Sang said, like this, we as the customers did not anticipate this as the final result, because again, she looks nothing like the promos. Like, it literally looks like the promo doll used a different, maybe even a different hair material. It's then styled completely differently.
Or it's been photoshopped. The stray hairs were photoshopped out. But yeah, even the promo images has this really nice defined like bumps and waves in
and
hair.
we've seen that style before,
but
it worked.
It works, but I think they use a different hair fiber on her, hoping to create like a particular hairstyle in real life. But I think it's a fail. I don't think it actually did what it's intended to do. So
it's unfortunate, because I love this Elise's like accessories so much, and the promos seemed promising to me. So this was a disappointment to see her in person. But you know, you can let us know what you think about this whole Elise situation in the comments.
Well, let's just look at accessories. Her earrings are gorgeous. I love these little pearl details.
Super cute.
Same with her bracelet. Yeah, and then her makeup accessories. Super nice.
Oh, I love the perfume.
Yeah, so I
know. I wanted her most for the accessories.
Yeah. She comes with quite a lot, and her shoes are pretty cool too.
Yeah, cute.
Technically, we have gone through all the Souvenir dolls for the convention. We are gonna include the W Club event Souvenir as well.
Yes. So this was a separately purchased ticket that any member of the W Club was able to attend, even if they couldn't get a convention pass. And the Souvenir doll for that event was Adrenaline Rush, Dominique Makeda. So I need to remind myself she's related to Adele. We are very well aware that this doll sparked a lot of conversation in the community. A lot of debate, a lot of negative commentary, a lot of things on the W Club forum. We already discussed in our first impressions video that we didn't really think it was the right move for them to have gone with such a sporty theme for the New Face dolls in this convention. It just felt like they weren't entirely reading the room. And I just think in general, again, with a theme that bold and specific in a convention, it just didn't really feel like it was the time or the place. This Dominique specifically, I really like Dominique. I have Counterculture Dominique, and I love her sculpt. I think she's beautiful. It's great to see her in the Nubian skin tone, and I do think her kind of the dramatic eyeliner is fun. It is very loud, so it can make it challenging to redress her. This fashion honestly is giving, it is kind of bold and kind of fun. It's just giving me, Spirit Halloween, like Power Rangers vibes. A lot of people are talking about keeping the doll and trying to get rid of the fashion, and in some cases vice versa, because this Dominique also has flocked hair, which we don't see super often on IT dolls, which I personally don't mind. I think it's cool to have variety of different hair types and textures and styles. Mm-hmm. The doll herself, I think, is she's nice in person. This fashion, really, both her and Reina, which by the way, throughout this entire haul, the only doll from the convention that we won't be covering at all is Reina from the W Club event, because she's not ready. She hasn't shipped yet. But I felt the same really about this Dominique and that Reina, and that both the dolls had promise, but the fashions were just a big miss for me. And I think a lot of W Club event attendees were disappointed because, again, this was the event that folks who weren't able to attend the full convention, like, this was all they got.
So it's time for Sang's hot take. So the W Club luncheon has historically been very experimental with the dolls that they offer, and I think Dominique falls in line with that. If you think about what Max and I's most coveted doll from Lux Life was the
which one?
Public Adoration.
Oh, Public Adoration.
Eden. That's Eden, right?
Eden, yeah.
Eden, while she's gorgeous, she was very experimental for interior toys because she had fantasy hair. They haven't really done a lot of fantasy hair in the brand, and I think that one was an experiment that worked. And this was an experiment that was polarizing in a different way with her makeup and her outfit. It was a lot like compounds of different things that affected her reception. With in-person events, again, it's more limited amount of people who would have gotten her, as well as you can physically see this doll in person, and oftentimes real photos and in-person accounts tends to skew more positive. With Dominique, unfortunately, because it was an online event, like Max said, where anyone in the W Club could have purchased a ticket and attended, and all they had was a series of a few photos to judge her on until I feel like a month later, until we got actual photos of her in person. I think collector's frustration is completely valid, and I can also understand from Jesse's side, where he has been known to create very experimental, very risk-taking dolls that were received so well. It's just a combination of different things that avalanche into a bigger issue. And her earrings are cute. They're
I love her earrings.
Yeah, her earrings are cute. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot of experimental things all at once.
Yeah, I mean, to me, ultimately, I think it's really just a time and place error. Although it's kind of interesting though, looking in retrospect, there have kind of been multiple, as you said, multiple W Club events now where the dolls were very bold and polarizing, which I mean, you know, Jesse Ayala and New Face are, you know, that's kind of something him and that line are known for. And yeah, many times it results in huge successes. And as we've said before, sometimes the most daring dolls of the convention are the most popular. I personally think in terms of souvenir dolls that everyone is getting, and in terms of an event that is to some people going to be acting as a replacement or a stand-in of, you know, the full convention experience because they can't get it, it's not the time or the place, in my opinion, to give people something really loud and bold and polarizing and out there and like something they're really not expecting, unless you and your brand and your group of designers have a high confidence that you're going to satisfy the bulk of the market, you know, with this risk you're taking. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I have seen a lot of folks online and on Instagram who've done gorgeous things with this Dominique. I've seen some incredible pictures of her, you know, some incredible restyling of her and redressing of her. The other thing too is, of course, it's, you know, there were certain naysayers of this doll who were just taking the conversation in a really inappropriate direction, and that's not something that I think is really ever okay, even if you're not a fan of a doll.
It's not constructive.
You know, no, yeah. It's not constructive, and it doesn't help anything or make anyone feel good. So I think, you know, if you don't like a doll, that's fine. I get, you know, one thing I will empathize with is I think part of the reason people get especially passionate about these conversations with IT is just because IT products are so expensive and they're only getting more expensive. So I think when people feel like they're not getting the value they want, or they're kind of blindsided, you know, by something they paid for, you know, because these events, it's the closest thing IT does to like a blind box type of thing. So again, that I think IT really needs to keep that in consideration for the dolls for these events, because a large group of people really don't like it. They're going to get really upset because they spent, you know, large sums of money.
Yeah. And final thought, really, like, I hope IT has understand what has happened. I think in the future, let collectors' dollars be the judge of something. If you're going to be experimental with something that people can outright buy, rather than gifting something to someone blind box style where they paid for it on sight unseen and have a very experimental doll.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think about the whole Adrenaline Rush Dominique, you know, situation in the comments. We're curious. But yeah, well, that could have been its whole, you know, own video with that whole discussion. All right, so from here we're going to jump straight into the Poppy Parker Style Lab and everything we got from that, which was absolutely everything. So first up we have beautiful Ginger Gilroy and her suggested fashion, which is the Le Chic fashion. And so biggest update I have in person is, girl, this is not the same hair color. That was the very first thing I noticed. It's like it looks so much redder in the promos.
Yeah, and I mean, if you hold it to the light, kind of has a red sheen to it. Mm-hmm. Her lips are nothing the same. This is hardcore pink, and this is like a deeper pink, and this one's like a bright ass,
yeah,
like hot pink.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some saturation like changes in the photos compared to in person. I actually do, I mean, I like the really deep chocolate brown. Mm-hmm. It's just misleading because it looked much more reddish in the promos.
Yeah, but it does have a reddish sheen in light. Yeah. But her lips are totally different. Like, I don't know how they even got that color. And her eyebrows are not orange, they're brown.
Yeah. Her fashion, love it. You know, I loved it in the promos, I love it in person. It's incredibly cute. I love kind of the combinations of, it's a lot of royal blue, which is absolutely gorgeous. I don't know for sure whether or not I'm going to be pairing these clothes with this Ginger. This Ginger isn't my absolute favorite. She's cute. I like, you know, the varieties of hairstyles we're getting, but big fan of the fashion. This royal blue really pops in person.
Mm-hmm. The sequence is kind of nice.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah. Statement belt, her accessories we've seen before, but most Style Lab dolls don't have unique accessories, but they're gorgeous gold and blue.
In part 1, we already showed like the main convention packaging, but of course there is separate packaging for the Poppy Parker Style Lab. It's super cute. I love it. It's very 70s. I've said before that, you know, I kind of take issue with the flimsiness of the Style Lab boxes and how it's kind of like hard to tell what's what compared to the other shippers and stuff like that. But I understand why, practically speaking, they need to do it. So next up, we have Glamorous Poppy Parker with the suggested pink vamp fashion. Yeah, I thought this Poppy was okay in the promo images of her, and I think she's okay in person. The forward-facing is really cute. I know forward-facing Poppy is a little bit of a rarer screening, you know, with the popularity of Big Eyes. I think this was specifically, wasn't it? Jesse Ayala like requested it.
Yeah.
That David do a forward-facing Poppy. Yeah, she's okay. We have a million blonde poppies, but she's cute.
Like I said, if you are a newer Poppy collector or a very selective Poppy collector and you don't have this combination, I think she is gorgeous and she is worth you looking into. But she is the very stereotypical blonde, blue-eyed, fair-skinned Poppy Parker that kind of
pink lipstick.
With pink lipstick that kind of started the whole Poppy craze. And you know, if you're coming from another brand that has a similar blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl, then yeah, she is a good replacement for that.
Her fashion, the pink vamp, love it. Beautiful. I think her blazer / jacket is really lovely. It has a very metallic sheen to it. You know, it feels like one of those dressier business attire, but it's still very fashionable and sleek, very 70s. Because yeah, the top below has a matching pattern to the packaging. Again, super 70s, and her clutch is so cute. I'm getting almost like Louis Vuitton vibes from that little like monogram-esque pattern on it. Really, that's a big clutch by doll scale. That's like a very large clutch.
Her hot pants are cute. It has little front-facing pockets and buttons. Honestly, of the outfit, this might be my least favorite. It's so bright. It is a cute outfit, and I think, yeah, it works well with her, who's a little bit more dull and neutral tone.
Yes. So next we have gorgeous Poppy Parker, who certainly lives up to her name. She is in dark A-tone, which we don't see Poppy in very often.
Or ever.
Yeah, is this the only one?
Well, no. Well, the W Club exclusive, the Resort Ready.
She's also dark A-tone? Okay, yeah.
But this is the first time we've seen dark A-tone in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you can see here, Sang has her completely unboxed and dressed in her suggested fashion, the French disco fashion.
I think she's absolutely gorgeous, but here's another case of promo images does not match the in-person doll. I know Max and I fell in love the second we saw the promo images, and I think we can both agree she's still super gorgeous in person. But this is definitely not the same skin tone or screening that's shown on the promo images. Her lips are like a darker pink in person, and it's like a bright, almost red in the promo image.
Yeah, in person it's almost like a, is not burgundy? Or no, like a really dark...
It's more pink, like a darker pink in person. Yeah, I don't know.
It's really dark in person. It's a very dark, it looks lovely, but yeah, it's super different from the promos. Everything in the promo image looks lighter. From the skin tone to the lipstick.
It looks warmer.
Her hair, even I love her hair still in person, but it almost looks like verging on like a really light brunette / almost auburn, but in person it's a little darker. Depends on how the light catches it too. That's not horribly different. I think the biggest differences are the lips and skin tone. But I love her. I love her suggested fashion. I think she looks beautiful in it.
She almost looks Nubian in person.
A little bit, yeah, she does. But I think she's absolutely gorgeous. I think she's definitely by far one of the best poppies in this collection. and I'm a really big fan of this fashion as well.
Another thing that I think collectors have noticed with the in-person Gorgeous is that her part is a lot further over her left side.
Yeah,
like the promo images is more slightly off-center. This
Yeah.
one is like way over.
Mine has like a swoop, kind of
like an emo swoop. Like Mine doesn't really have mine's a bit more centered, but I've noticed a lot of Gorgeous have a really far, like almost over to her temple.
I love her faux fur coat. You know, I tend to be picky about mini sequins, but I like that these sequins are kind of pastel. Like they're kind of like lighter sequins, and I just think it's a beautiful pairing with the kind of the deep royal purple and then her gold shoes. The whole thing is just a lovely
her
combination
so nice.
overall. Yeah, it's super nice.
Yeah. I noticed her shoes don't really fit her. I think a lot of people were having issues because if you look how I wish the shoes were more molded to the feet.
They look really big. Yeah.
They just don't fit very well, and there's a huge arc gap right there. Oh, and we also found out that her little hat thing is kind of like a wrap.
So next up we have alluring Poppy Parker and her suggested paired fashion American in Paris. I had kind of mixed feelings about this Poppy when I first saw photos of her, but I think she's lovely in person, and she is another forward-facing Poppy. A lot of my Poppies have lash walk, unfortunately, so it's a little difficult to tell whether or not they're slightly wonky, but I think she's cute in person. She has, that slightly auburn hair. I think alluring is going to be one of the more popular poppies from this convention for sure. Her fashion is cute. I kind of talked about last time how this fashion was probably my least favorite of this collection, and I definitely still feel that way. Although I do really like it's a sweater, isn't it? Yeah, I do like the little sweater she pairs with. I think that on its own would be super cute if you're not into the whole, detective aesthetic. But yeah.
I think this outfit is very on brand with the 70s look that I have created in my head just from watching movies and stuff. I think it's a very cute outfit, and I love these dangling pieces. Oh, it's magnetic. That's awesome.
So next level.
Yeah, little chain on her jacket. Yeah, it's magnetic. Wow.
Cray.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, if you are looking for a standard 70s look that isn't too out there as some of these other really brightly colored outfits, I think this one's really nice.
And finally, we have Darling Poppy, which, if you recall, was my favesies. I love her so much. And her recommended paired Gothique fashion. I don't remember if this was another one where, when I first saw the promos, I wasn't sure if it was gonna end up maybe being a lavender leaning hair color, but it's not. It's definitely a deeper purple. It's not a super dark royal purple, though. It's still kind of a bit of a vibrant purple, and she's stunning. I love her so much.
Didn't we already have a lavender hair Poppy?
Yes, we did. The one from that
From
set.
Mood Changer.
Mood Changer. Yeah, we both have that Poppy.
Yeah, so I'm glad it's a different tone of purple. So, and I love the gray eyes. I think she's a great combination of things that I love about Poppy, and just with added different from just a stereotypical Poppy. I love her. She's definitely the best Poppy. I have a wonky one, so I need to contact them, which is gonna be fun because I won't see them for another year. But her fashion's also my favorite.
Yes, amazing, stupendous, never the same.
Never been to me before.
It's so beautiful. We knew it was going to be beautiful, but the little metallic gold stitching hits so different in person. Again, I love the fact that this outfit is a nice kind of contrast, depending on whether she's fully dressed with the coat or not, between very elegant, classy, chic, and very, you know, kind of dark and gothic. I'm a huge fan. Her accessories are a little bit basic. She just has very standard black, like stud earrings and a ring. I do like her little beret, although, you know, I just never even bother with those on IT dolls because they just don't stay on, and I don't do the stick pins in their head thing, so.
I don't even know how to.
So yeah.
Best combination. I think David really knocked it out of the park with this style lab, and I think we should do more style labs.
So, the dolls themselves and the fashions were not the only thing included in the Poppy Parker Style Lab. There were also 2 accessory packs simply titled A and B. And A, that I have here, has a purse and a couple pairs of shoes, including a pair of silver boots. It also comes with an ascot / scarf that matches, well, yeah, it matches the packaging as well as the pink vamp fashion. Same thing with the purse. Yeah, I think it's cute. I like the little PP purse, and I like the gaudy pink accessories.
Quite statement pieces.
Yes, but you know, Poppy has a lot of stuff like that when she's in the 60s and 70s, because that was the jam. And for accessory pack B, what's kind of cool is it feels completely contrasting. Like, as where the other one was very vibrant and colorful, this one is kind of a bronzier, duller tone set. And it has a bag that David confirmed is inspired by Gucci. There is a really cute pair of almost like a faux snakeskin almost looking boots, and some nice red like little dangling drop earrings and a necklace. It's cute. Yeah, this overall, this yeah, it's giving like Gucci, kind of like warm dull tones, high fashion. So yeah, I think it's cool that they feel very different. The 2 accessory packs feel very different.
Yeah, it pleases different types of collectors. More of like the colorful aspect of collecting, and more of like kind of like mid-name brand collecting.
All right.
That's everything. That's the show.
Okay, that's it. Bye, guys. It's already 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So it took us a long time. Thank you for your patience, everyone. But that officially fully concludes our coverage of Integrity Toys at 2021 Obsession Convention. As we mentioned in a recent prior video, assuming it's posted, which it should be by now, you know, a lot of changes are coming to the W Club in 2022. We'll link that other video in the description if you want to know the whole deal on that. This is the last known virtual convention from Integrity Toys that will be exclusive to ticket buyers. All, you know, W Club members are going to have a chance to attend the next event. And, you know, I think as a whole, now that we've seen everything in person, a lot of my core sentiments do stay the same. I think this was a little bit of a polarizing convention overall. You know, I would encourage IT to try to stay on top of factory / manufacturing issues that might end up impacting masses of an end result, you know, in the case of Elise, and also to just read the room and consider the audience of events that people are going to be going home with something that they blindly paid for. You know, so I think when the chances and risks are taken, they need to be taken at the right times when it's kind of appropriate and won't leave people feeling completely blindsided. And again, this is something I already said in prior videos. I'm really hoping for a clearer interweaving theme in the next event, because I think a big part of why people just felt so confused and shocked and frustrated by some of these releases are because, again, of just the really vague open-ended theme, and I don't think anyone would have guessed that there would be so many sports-centric dolls at an obsession convention. But there were definitely, obviously, some very significant keepers. You know, once again, David came through with a fabulous Poppy Style Lab. I definitely wouldn't mind, you know, more of that in the future, but I think if we're going to keep receiving Poppy Style Labs or large Poppy collections like in convention, yeah, I personally would love to see more change-ups, more characters. You know, I know I just don't know if we're ever going to see Chip ever again at this point. I think it would be cool for him to come back. I thought there's a great opportunity for him to come back as a wedding Poppy, but, you know, I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I think time will tell how the reception of this convention will end up being. I think some time needs to pass, and we often tend to look a bit more fondly towards past convention collections after, you know, newer ones arrive. I know Legendary for us was a bit more of like a meh convention, but I'm looking back on that one and I feel like, oh, there are actually some really nice dolls in that convention that hasn't been done before and hasn't been done since. Or maybe just the quality of IT dolls has been questionable lately that I look fondly back on the past conventions. Yeah, I don't know. I think I need some time with these dolls and seeing people's photos and just appreciating them a bit more.
We're curious what you guys think of this convention as a whole. You know, what did you think of these dolls? You know, I know there was just a lot of commentary and conversation and controversy over this convention. You know, and some of the conversations have been leaning kind of heated, which again is just, we personally don't want to contribute to like sending things in that direction. I mean, the nice thing about convention is that in most cases there's usually a little bit of something for everyone, you know, because usually every major relevant line has, you know, some representation. My final note is just, boys, please, can we just have a boy? At least Oms specifically. I don't know, I want to see some of the boys back, you know. I mean, in conventions like Lux Life and Fashion Fairy Tale, the Style Lab was really an opportunity to kind of play with male dolls, and maybe that's kind of a good spot to put them in because the Style Lab is more encouraging of mix and match and style yourself and stuff like that. So if they're worried about like, oh, boys don't sell as well as the girls, it's like, all right, just put them in the Style Lab so people can pair with what they want, and you know.
You know, the funny thing is they kind of went Pandora's box with the Style Lab, where they saw how successful a Style Lab can be with Poppy Parker, and then the year after with Fashion Royalty. It's going to be very hard for them to take a risk on a Style Lab for, you know, the industry or color infusion.
RIP industry.
I mean, the rumor is they're working on rebranding it and restructuring it. So I'm hoping for something really awesome. But back to my point is, it is a little frustrating seeing how successful Poppy Parker and Fashion Royalty Style Labs have been, given the fact that, yeah, the Style Lab was a great opportunity for some of like the lesser known brands to get their moment to shine, and yeah, opportunity for some risk taking there. I know in the past with Style Labs, oftentimes they don't completely sell out, but we're to the point where we're constantly seeing the same characters over and over again because there's so many opportunities taken away from some like the smaller lines that IT offers.
Yeah, definitely. Well, as always, be sure to share your thoughts below, and if you want to check out our full Integrity Toys playlist, it will be linked in the video description below. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't. Let us know what you want to see next on our channel. We've been very busy. A lot is coming, so stay tuned. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye!